Thank you for tuning in to Core Vision TV. I'm Justin alongside Kim and Cam. We wanted to take a little bit of time out to talk about recent events, mainly revolving around police brutality and the retaliation to those events. In Louisiana recently, Alton Sterling was shot and killed by a police officer. Reporting to a call that was made just moments before, it was said that he was outside of a convenience store selling CDs. Also, just after that, in Minnesota, Philando Castile was shot and killed, starting off for what was originally a routine traffic stop for a broken tail light. He was shot in front of his little kid that was sitting in the back seat. Both of these videos were caught on cell phone video and caused a lot of outrage across the country and added fire to the already burning fire that is normally followed with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. So starting off, I just want to see, what is your take on these events?
For me, I'm heartbroken. I have a spirit of loneliness, a spirit of hopelessness, and to see my grandparents cry because they feel like we're in the same time they were. Instead of the water hose and dogs, we have guns now. And to say, everyone is saying what's new is the technology of the cameras, but we've been had the cameras. But we got the after effect. This time we got the actual murder. It's murder. And I'm just lost. I want to find a solution. What do you think, Kim?
I'm just heartbroken, honestly, because growing up, in a society, I am a black woman. I have a black father, black spouse, black brother, and it's just like anybody is a walking target. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like social media has played a huge part in it, because we get to see the actual live footage. Mm-hmm. Nothing's edited, nothing's cut dry. It's just straight, period, point blank. This is what it is. And it's almost like, rather than talk about it, we really have to make a change.
Yeah.
We have to create a change, because it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
It's been continuing to happen over the years, and it just has to be a real change.
Yeah. I think for me, I have like you said, a black mother, a black father, a black brother, brothers-in-laws, friends, and I have a black child. And she's young, she's 5. So when I saw the video of the baby in the back seat when her father died, I immediately thought of my child.
Right.
And how do I tell her, baby, if you're ever in trouble, the man in blue is your friend.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
who can you trust?
So it's harder for me because it's like I have to raise my child in this environment. And for us, I don't like the situation that's happening, but I do like the change that's happening in our culture.
Yes.
I think as a culture nationwide, we're heartbroken. Usually it's like, oh, okay, we'll see y'all. The hashtag happens on a Monday, and next Tuesday we're talking about
something different. Next
the music awards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like we're not talking about anything. I have a lot of blogger friends, and we're like vowing, I'm not posting your party. I'm not posting, your advertisement, your promo. We need to know Black Lives Matter. And it's not just Black Lives Matter. Everybody matters, we get that. But we matter too. The other lives are not being killed quickly as we are.
Right.
So Black Lives Matter, and we need to get a movement. Like, I want to protest. I'm mad. I'm not for the killing of the cops, but what do we do? What's the solution? What do we do? Who do we talk to? Where do we go? How do we move on from this?
So do you think this time it'll be a little bit different? Because these two cases are just as much in the light as the past cases. There's video of these cases where they're being blatantly shot, point blank. Do you think these cases will start to bring about a change? And if so, like how exactly will it bring about a change? Because these situations, they're no different than the last few
right.
that have happened.
Right.
But what's so different now than the last to where change has to happen?
I don't know. Maybe Kim can agree with me on this. The technology is the same, and you're right. It's all the same. But for me, when it happened, that next day, I woke up, it was different. I felt different. The workplace was different. The city was quiet. It didn't even happen here. It was just different. So I can't describe why now we're trying to step up. But I read something online that said, how many times will we have a moment of silence where we're silent?
Right.
So no, we don't want the anger, but we're tired of this. Like, this is crazy. So I don't know if it's a new wave of the new Summer 16. I don't know what's the change, but I'm glad the change is coming, that everyone's like, we're being held accountable now. We have to, let these cops know that it's not okay. You can't keep killing us, killing our fathers, and then laugh at us for being fatherless. You can't keep doing that. Like, it doesn't work.
Right. It's almost like the change is starting because we're seeing it first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as the generation moves, this generation that is being affected, it's a little bit closer in age.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits way closer to home because we see these people weren't doing anything before this happened. It's almost like, hey, we're just sitting all black and you're bothering us. I guess you're intimidated by who we are and what we look like and what we could possibly do. I think that's what it is. And I honestly feel like the change has to start within the police community. Like, they're going to have to make an example out of somebody in order for cops to understand, or even police, or even people to understand that you will be reprimanded for your actions. You will have to take responsibility for what you did and what happened.
Yeah.
Because we saw it point blank.
Yeah.
We saw it. The footage, they may not use it in court. They may use it in court. We don't know. But the footage,
It doesn't lie.
live, Facebook Live, that's streaming.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, that's no editing.
That may be the change that Justin was talking about, why it's different this time. Because before, we would just see the clips on TV, on CNN. But now we're a social media world.
Yeah.
So you put it on Facebook Live, oh my God.
That's right now.
It reached from your 5-year-old to your grandma. Like, Facebook is so wide on age. So we all saw it. It wasn't like it was doctored. Like you said, it was the truth. It was raw, uncut footage. So I just think that it does start with the police officers, but we also have to start within ourselves in our homes.
Right.
Because these cops, they're wrong for being afraid of us, but look how we portray ourselves.
Right.
We post fight videos all the time.
Right.
So if a person that's already scared of us, all they see online on social media, what we grasp to is these black people fighting. And let's be clear, when we see these black men fighting, they're not fighting like these white boys.
No, they're not.
They are boxing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you already have a racist, scared person, when they see somebody have a badge, so when they automatically see you, they're scared. So you're like a danger to us. But you're scared with a gun. Oh, you're a dangerous man. You're dangerous, because if you have a gun and you're scared, what do you do?
Right. So if that's the case, then do you think these situations happen more out of racism, or is it more so profiling? Somebody's fitting a stereotype. Is it? Do you think there is more racism in these situations, or is it more of profiling and they're just afraid of what a black person may do?
I would have to say, from my opinion, it would be profiling. Because I went to an HBCU. I actually went to Prairie View, where Sandra Bland had that situation, and now Sandra Bland Parkway. But it is profiling, because I can tell you many times, there's been times I like to wear fitted caps. I don't wear them when it's too dark and I'm driving on back roads, because they may think that I'm a guy.
And you shouldn't have to live that way.
I like to wear backwards. They may think that I'm a guy. So the first thing that they do, they'll pull you over just to see, just a random. If my brother, he's like very husky guy with a beard. They fear the beard.
Yeah, they fear
the beard. And that's something that it's just profiling. Black male, red shirt, black shirt, white shirt with a beard. That could be any one of you guys.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's profiling just because, and statistically, we are the highest race in prison. Okay? So they are going off some facts. This is not just something they're making up.
Right.
So like I said, we have to start within ourselves, but I think it's profiling and racism as well, because I went to HBCU as well in Austin, Texas, Houston-Tillerson, and there's times I've went through Bastrop and been stopped just because.
Yeah.
Now, and I didn't even have a fitted cap on. I remember one time I'm driving, and he stops me and he says, "What are drugs?" I have some Tylenol in the back, But long story short, he pulled me out the car and he set me on the curb and searched my car, scratched my car up, didn't find anything. And so I asked him, "Sir, why you pull me over?" He said, "I know how you people are." Mind you, this was no cell phone era, this was no video era, so I'm alone on this street by myself. So when he didn't find anything, he was pissed. Told me, "Get in the car, get your ass out of my town." So nothing happened to me. I didn't get a hashtag. I didn't get none of that, and I don't want that. However, that's a memory embedded in me for life.
Right.
So imagine my little story that happens. All these black people have these different stories, so we're all operating off fear and profiling.
Right.
We're profiling them as well. You have a badge on.
Don't mess with
It's not the case. We need to change our mentality. We need to just figure out what can we do as a people for change, because this walking and protesting is not working. Right. It's not.
A lot of people think change, when change comes about, that they have to do something about it. Sometimes it's a little bit more drastic than others, and that may or may not be the solution. But since these events, other things have been happening. People have been retaliating to it. People have retaliated all across the country so far. There was cases in Tennessee, cases in Georgia, and close to home here in Dallas, a sniper shooting, killing, I think it was 5 officers. The other 7 are injured from bullet wounds. That was a retaliation, a direct retaliation of these recent events. Do you think, what do you think is the best way to retaliate, and how will that situation in Dallas have an effect on
What gets me with the media with this
full
Dallas
picture?
situation is there is no facts about this sniper. We don't know if this sniper was waiting, like a terrorist waiting for a crowd to get into a mix where he can get his targets. We don't know if he had PTSD. We don't know what his story was. Why? Because he's dead, he's blown up, or they shot him in the parking garage. 3 different stories now. When do you ever know a sniper to be in plain sight to get caught? That's the purpose of a sniper. So for me, I can't put the blame of blood on our culture here because of the actual sniper, because we don't know the facts. Yes, he shot the cops, but coincidentally, he probably was shooting at everybody else too, but everybody was running. We don't know that. But what I blame about the media is they broadcast these cops to get our focus off what really happened. If it was retaliation, yes, he was wrong for killing them, but let's be clear why it was retaliation. You push us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I have to agree with you about the sniper. I'm just very confused on the information and what the media is showing. We know what media is. They set the agenda for everything. They set out a storyline. If it looks believable, people that look at the news, they're going to believe it. The biggest thing with me about this whole Dallas situation is, how can we say that it's exactly retaliation, because this is not where the events happen.
Exactly.
This is not where the events happen. They're doing a protest on behalf of lives that have been lost, but we can't necessarily say that's a retaliation, because retaliation happens when there was an issue in that same park.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't have a fight with the police that didn't have anything to do with those situations, you know? And I will have to say this on behalf of myself, I don't feel that anybody should lose their life on behalf of anyone else.
Exactly.
I don't feel that any cop should have lost their life because of the shootings that happened in other cities. Yes, the videos that I saw, from my point of view, they were wrong, but I can't say that retaliation, was on our behalf. And another thing with Dallas, just like you said, a sniper is supposed to be non-visible.
Right.
If it was a sniper, shots would have been coming from over your head.
Yeah, how do you know?
And not within the area. And a lot of the social media is what I like to follow, because those are the real people that attended the event. They said bullets were coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how a sniper can have bullets coming from everywhere on the floor, rather than overhead. So
I don't know. I think that's what, like you were saying, the raw, uncut footage. We got to see these killings, but we didn't see you kill the sniper.
no.
We didn't see, like, where are the facts in this? And you guys, they just want to put it on us so that everybody can say F the police. I want to come out and say, for me personally and from my peers, I don't think we're not saying F the police.
No.
Because there are some good cops and bad cops. We have some guys that became cops because they want to make a difference.
Yeah.
So how do you, on one hand, say, F the police, I'm glad they died, but if someone comes shoot you or rape you or your house catch on fire, who do you call? So respect the authorities. We need that, because we didn't have that, then it would be very chaotic. So I think to say that all cops are bad is really, really just wrong. Like, it's not eye for an eye. We don't want you guys to die just as much we don't want to die.
Right.
We just want to be respected.
Right.
So we just want respect and equality, and that's what we want. And let's fight for it.
I came across an article in the Washington Post, and they've done a really good job of keeping track of the police-related deaths where a cop had, shot an individual, and this was stats from 2015. For Black Americans, they were basically half the number of what white Americans were killed last year by cops, but the white Americans weren't really, I guess, in the spotlight as much as
It wasn't highly publicized, no.
Right.
Exactly. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's more of a story? The media just boosts it up more because they know that we're going to put hashtag Black Lives Matter behind it, and it's more of a story for them, and they build it up to make it seem like something other than what it really is? Or
I think they're showing facts, and I think that there's a lot of racism in these corporations, but I do think you have those underdogs in those corporations that are shedding light on the story. So it becomes more, yeah, a white person died, but this is not what we're talking about. I can't come out and tell my boss, Bob, hey, let's air this black guy that got killed. But I have to write it up in a report, make it look good for you guys, so my people can be informed as well. So I think we do have those underdogs, and that's where education comes into key. Going to these HBCUs, despite what Wendy Williams has to say. Going to these HBCUs, going to school, getting educated on the laws and things like that, so we can connect with these lawmakers and these politicians to figure out what our rights are, what can we do. Because like Ray Shermer, and his not sure what city it was, but the judge that was on his case wrongfully accused him. And she, was having all kind of crap about him. How about next election she was not elected in because their peers did not vote her in? So no, it's not a presidential election, but it starts in your local community. Like voting for your mayor is important. Voting for your police chief is important. All that matters. Like Black Lives Matters and voting matters,
Right. Just like you said, it starts at home.
Yeah.
It starts at home. And you have to know who's in office.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what their agenda is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go and vote, you really have to vote on policy and procedure and facts, and stop voting on feeling and emotion, because feeling and emotion is what got us in this state that we're in right now.
I think right now, a lot of people want action, 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 but I appreciate the ones that are being not silent, but just standing still.
Yeah.
My grandma used to always say, just stand still, baby, and it'll make sense. So before I go walk miles and miles and miles to an unknown destination to protest, I want to know who am I meeting, who's willing to talk to me, what are my legal rights as a citizen? Can I walk on this highway without getting arrested? Can I even say, hey, I want answers without feeling like I'm a threat? You want to get in these people's faces to let them know we're here. We're out here. We don't have a leader in our community, but we are all leaders, and we're willing to come together. So I think we need to do more research and more education as well.
And in our communities and also in the country, there's a lot of division in the country. It's either you're white or you're black, you're for something or you're against something. When you go out and protest, and when you do certain things in retaliation to certain events, people want to say, oh, you're either pro-black and you're anti-cop, or you're anti-cop, or you're pro-cop and you're anti-black. Is there a way where you can be pro-black and pro-cop?
Yes.
Or does there need to be a division between the two?
There's no such thing as a division when you have policemen that are police in the community.
Yeah.
Those people that you can trust, those people that you can call. That's the reason why they have hotlines. You have to be able to trust someone. So I think that there is no such thing as a division. You can be pro-black and pro-police, because I'm one.
Yeah.
I know that there are certain people that I can trust. I have very, very close friends that are police, and they tell me and they talk to me and they're like, when you get pulled over, this is what you need to do. When this happens, this is what you need to do. No matter what's going on, pull that phone out, record.
Yeah.
Report. You have to report.
But what I want people to understand as well, all cops are not out to get you, but you have to understand they are in tough situations every day, because we as black people, again, starting at home, I know people that raise their kids to do not respect the police.
Right.
So if a police officer tell you, hey man, pull your pants up, I've seen people say, pull your pants up. I say that all to say, I'm ready for a solution, I'm ready for action, and we will not be silenced. The revolution will be televised. It really is. Cut it up.
So all of those events has to come to a solution. We have to find a solution to the problem. There has to be an end result somewhere. As said before, it starts in our community. It starts in our homes. We need to really focus on ourselves. We need to see what's going on in our community, see what's going on with our leaders that we elect into office. What are some key points that you feel will help us come to a conclusion for the situation?
Firstly, know your leaders and communicate with them. That's my first thing. Know your leaders, communicate with them, know your rights, and respect the law. Yeah.
I honestly think, like you said, learn your leaders, know them, let them know who you are. Because if they know you're paying attention, they're going to hold themselves accountable. And I think we need to start forcing our way into City Hall, because think about it, you're an educator. In order to be a professor, you had to take 8 years of collegiate studies. To be an officer with a gun, 6 months training. 6 months in a high school diploma. You don't know if these guys are former people that was bullied in school that are now like, I'm big man now. You know, you don't know what's going on with these people. When you have to be certain jobs, you have to get tested. They test your mind. They do all this kind of stuff. But for police force, all it is training, like PE. Not saying it's not tough, because I probably couldn't pass a test, but it's simple. It's not hard to be a cop at all. So when you have these less trained guys, so we need to fight for more training. More training how to deal with us. And also, let's have compassion for the officers that are racist. They were raised that way, so maybe we need some training for them to show them we're not, because I have black cop friends as well, and they tell me, don't think it's not a division in the police world. It's black cops and white cops as well.
Yeah.
It's a definite division, so they're dealing with stuff as we are too, so everyone's not to blame. We need to find love, peace, and solutions, and let's kill the hate.
There it is. So all across America, people are praying that this time will be the last time and change will be made. All across America, people are praying that the evidence this time will be so evident that justice is undeniable. And all across America, people are praying that the dehumanization of Americans, more specifically black Americans, will be substituted with peace, justice, and prosperity. Thank you guys for tuning in to Core Vision TV. This was a special on police brutality and the results from recent events.